The next question is, why do I lose velocity as the season goes on? And this comes from a college player, so I'm going to answer this from the college perspective. And, I think the biggest reason that guys lose velocity is because they're not lifting as much in season as they are out of season. And if they are lifting a lot, their intensity isn't high enough. So let's go back to the off season and think about what guys are usually doing, especially around that December, January time. Before, let's say, a Division One season starts mid-February. That November to January time, guys are lifting really heavy. They're pushing it. They're making gains. That's usually when guys are hitting PRs in the weight room. And then all of a sudden the season comes around and one of two things happen. They either don't lift at all, or the second option is they lift, but they're going so low intensity that they're not even coming close to maintaining the strength gains that they made. And I think that's a common thing that's said to guys is, we're in season, we just need to lift to maintain. And the problem is you're actually not maintaining if you're not still lifting at a high intensity. I can't expect to lift 1 to 2 times a week and do, let's just say, 3 sets of 10 at low weight for all of my exercises and expect to maintain my weight. I'm not saying that we need to kill ourselves in season, but I do think that there needs to be at least 1 day a week that's dedicated to high intensity lifting. And if we're talking about a weekend starter who throws on a Saturday and he has a week in between starts, there's no reason that he shouldn't be getting 3 workouts in a week with one of those at least being high intensity work. Now, if you're a reliever, it might be a little bit different. So I'm going to stick with the Division One schedule of, have a midweek game Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now those guys, it gets a little bit more iffy on when their workout comes. But usually after you pitch, if it's a midweek day, say you play on a Tuesday and you're not playing till Friday, that Wednesday day is going to be the day you really get after it, and maybe Monday, Monday's an off day for, most Division One programs, but maybe that's still a lifting day for a reliever to get in and get his work in. So there's always a way to get into it. But I just think the reason that you're losing velocity in season is that you're not focusing enough on your lifting and what you did in the off season to keep those strength gains. And then the second part to this is the throwing. Now, I don't know your throwing routine, but I'm just going to talk from, what I saw when I was a player in college and then also just coaching at the college level is guys significantly reduce, not necessarily their volume, but their intensity of throwing in season. Out of season, I worked with a lot of guys or played with a lot of guys that would long toss, 2-3 times a week in the off season. They're really getting after it, trying to make gains. And then in season comes and they don't go past 90 feet any day because they want to make sure that they're not sore and that they're ready to go for the season. And once again, just like the lifting, we're not going to kill ourselves every day, but I think we still need to have a regimented program where we're still having 1 to 2 high intensity days, a week. And, as a reliever, once again, being a reliever is one of the hardest things because your schedule is so unpredictable, but there's still ways to do it. And, from the starter's perspective, there's really no reason that you can't have 2 high intensity days. And those are usually going to be your bullpen day and then your game day with still getting, adequate work in on the other days. But those are the 2 main reasons I see guys lose velocity as the season goes on is their weightlifting program, it decreases as far as the intensity or they're not lifting at all. Then the throwing volume and intensity gets reduced. So if you can really focus on trying to come up with a good plan where you're still getting after in the weight room and with your throwing without being too fatigued for the games, I think you're going to put yourself in a really good place to maintain that velocity. And then the last piece just to throw in is the nutrition piece. A lot of guys lose weight in season. And I think a big reason for that is they're on the field so much. You'll have days where you're out there for, 5-6 hours. And if maybe you have a doubleheader one day and you're really out there for a while, you're not eating that much food and you're really burning a lot more calories than you think. Even if you're not, playing every inning, you're a pitcher and you're still moving around though, and you are burning a lot of calories. So I think making sure that you're packing snacks, like having a peanut butter sandwich with you, having a protein bar, having trail mix, having stuff on hand when you're at the field to be able to snack on is really going to go a long ways. Because if you're losing 15 to 20 pounds in season, like a lot of guys do, that's really going to make it tough to keep your velocity up. So those just are 3 things that you have control over: the weight room, your throwing, and what you eat. I think if you take care of those 3 things, you're going to see your velocity sustain itself a little bit better.